Hey there guys, so the set list for BT05 has dropped today, and wow, what a set. Really good set, I think, is my preliminary thoughts. Obviously I've had a scan through. So if you're only interested in hearing like the big winners, um, Demon Dragon's the next meta for sure. I guarantee, okay, I don't guarantee you, I do have to test them, but I think it is highly unlikely they're not going to be the best deck in the format. And the reason for that is they got some really strong gauge disruption, which means that DDs are going to struggle against them to be able to actually loss rod. So because of that, the DDs were sort of the main threat there because they kind of destroy all the current meta. Conan might be able to beat them. It's unlikely, but they can. They can dodge those attacks and they can dodge the impact. So, like, theoretically it can be done, but I think it's unlikely. Bang Dream is fucked. They're not going to do anything. Idolmaster, too complicated. There's too many decks there. It's possible, but again, unlikely, and we don't know when that's coming out in English anyway. And then in terms of what's out in this set, Garga, not a chance, not touching it. Highly unlikely to touch it anyway, and you just impact them. To be fair, they can mainboard out to the impact, so Garga might be able to Garga might be able to keep up with them and do stuff. Horus is unlikely, I think, to be able to keep up with them. Horus looks good. They can do they can basically do a pop burn 2 on like every attack, which is really good. But no, they're not that good. They're good, but they're not that good. Obviously Garga looks incredibly strong too. So yeah, I think everything in here will be playable. 100% will be playable. I think the only old stuff that's really going to be playable is going to be DDs and Conan. I don't even think Bang Dream is going to be a fucking option because it's going to get destroyed by basically all the new stuff. Maybe not Horus, but it's possible. Anyway, let's just get into the cards, and you'll see why. Okay, so you'll need this promo. We're probably getting this as a box topper. You'll need this because adds ability notification and gives you some draw power, which is nice. So we got the SPs. I think the Horus SPs look really mediocre. There's really very little that differentiates them from the triple rare. Like, they do look better, but not. A, this is Legend World. B, they're the buddy monsters that you do have to buddy. Like, there's a lot of factors here that are just going to keep stacking up their price. The biggest one being Legend World and the fact they are the most hyped deck out of the set. So I would stay far away from these. I like this SP a lot. I will definitely pick one up for Buddy, I think. And the Buddy Rare's not on this. Okay. This is wrong. We have everything. So, Centaur, obviously amazing. Gives everything triple attack with moving Soul Guard. Very strong card. So counter calling from your drop is kind of fucking crazy. And it's going to keep giving itself crit when it restowns because it'll have triple attack. So obviously this is a floating effect. During its turn, all cards get triple attack. So obviously, yeah. This card is very strong. If your opponent doesn't buddy block you, and even if they do buddy block you, you can kill them. Basically, if your opponent doesn't phase end, you're gonna fucking kill them. Like, it's pretty crazy. Size 0, you can bounce this back to hand, and it buffs everything by 5k when it stands by card effect. I don't really think that's gonna matter because you can just run Garga Knight as like a tech, or as in like sideboard or something to deal with any big defense matchups. But I really don't think it's going to be a particular issue. You could maybe run one, but I don't think you're going to need to. Card's fucking ridiculous. Outing, resting and bouncing, and gaining life on every time you restand should not exist, and I don't know why they printed this, so super strong. Obviously giving your Dragons and Lady Dragon tribe protection. Sorry, if you have a Dragon, this protects everything from ability nullification and destruction, and you can obviously, why not, you can stand everything as well. So yeah, Garga looks fucking crazy. That secret pack is... This secret pack has 4 good cards, 1 meh card that you probably won't run, but you'll definitely run, I think, all the others. So I would say, as far as secret packs go, this is a 5-star secret pack out of 5, because usually you need like 2 cards out of the secret pack. This is much better than usual. So yeah, really good secret pack. Horus secret pack. Okay, so we got the double buddy gift, so you call the other one, call them both at the same time, you double buddy call. I think that means, I'm not sure if you gain 1 life. Oh no, sorry, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So all Dragon and King cannot be destroyed, returned to hand by card effect on there, so obviously then protection is nice. And when it enters the field, you pop 2, draw 2, and you can give everything triple attack. So obviously it's like strong. These are strong cards. So your shields can't be nullified. I don't know how relevant that's going to be nowadays, but it is nice to have. But I don't really know if this is going to be run. Maybe, I think this is one that definitely needs to be tested. How often you're going to need to be restarting your buddy zone is basically going to be the factor that determines whether or not this card's run. We've got the item, when Dragon on your field leaves the field, you can send it to the drop zone to leave it there. That's pretty nice. And you can rest this card, look at the top 5 out of Legend Dragon, and stack the top of your deck. Stacking top of your deck is actually very nice. Yeah, really good card. Really, really solid card. And 2 gauge, 4 damage impact. Yeah, good card. Can be 6, but probably won't. And now we're on to what I am most hyped for and what I am convinced will be the next meta, Demon Dragons. So, the main boss monster is 3 gauge, it can't be destroyed, returned to hand, its critical cannot be reduced by opponent's card effects. If you like it's 1, it gets penetrate, and it has 6/6/6 crit with move and triple attack. Some big fucking stats too, let's not forget that. Then we've got this defensive boy. If there's a Demon Dragon in your field, you can select 2 cards in your field and discard the hand. If you do, they get minus 10k power, and if your life is 1, they get minus 3 crit. Will this be relevant? Potentially, actually. I think it could be that minus 10k power is actually a lot. And especially when you're likely going to be sitting on 23k defense, this can definitely just fuck over a lot of decks. It's also kind of spicy against Mystic Knights to just deny them their pluses. And against Roselia too. Then we got this bullshit card. So you're going to cast it during your opponent's turn for Demon Dragon field, 2 gauge. During turn, if your life becomes 0, your life becomes 1 instead, once per fight. Obviously incredible. The Umbrella is fucking insane. 2 Demon Dragons drop into soul and 2 gauge. You can't be dealt damage by card effects. If your life is 1, it becomes a 13/3. And when the card attacks, you discard one of your opponent's gauge, and if your life is 1, you draw 1 and discard a card from your opponent's hand. Oh, that's a good card with double attack. And the impact, obviously, 6/6/6 impact if your life isn't 1. Thankfully, you cannot FTK. Well, you cannot FTK with it. Now onto the triple rares. So this becomes a size 1 if there's a dragon on your field, and when it stands by card effect, you draw 1, deal damage to your opponent. And if there's a card with G boost on your field, during the battle of this card attacks alone, your opponent cannot use counter. This is actually really strong, to be honest. Not being able to counter is going to fuck your opponent over, for sure. Because you can swing twice, like let's say against DDs, you can swing twice with other stuff and then start swinging with this. And they cannot phase end you for the 3 attacks this is going to have. And bear in mind, you're going to be drawing 2 and burning 2 off of this. So that is actually really, really good. I think I undersold this card when I first reviewed it. It's actually really strong. There is a lot of competition for space, but I do think you would run this. I think it is very good. And we got this bullshit card. This card's fucking ridiculous. I reviewed this in the most recent one. It's okay. I don't know if you'll run it. It's alright. Shield, again, this is okay. I mean, obviously, if you're just got like an Albador or something, it's great because it's recursive. This card's obviously great. Stand or Legend Dragon in your buddy turn. Adds 2 different monsters with Dragon and Legend Dragon from your deck in your hand, and if you add a 2, discard 1. Obviously, very, very good card. So a backup. So another Demon Dragon, 2 gauge top deck Salt. If you have 6 left of life, it becomes a size 0. Counteract during your opponent's turn. Select a monster or item on your opponent's field. You may pay 1 gauge. If you do, draw 1. During this turn, nullify its abilities and rest it. In addition, if your life is 1, the selected card cannot stand during this turn. Obviously, a very strong defensive card with move double attack and Soul Guard. Oh, this card's fucking crazy. I won't go into it. Obviously, stupidly good. And then we got this card reveal. So counter, destroy a Demon Dragon on your field, get a gauge 2, and if you have 6 life or less, draw 1. once per turn. So this is their draw card, and I think this is actually very fair. I think, whilst we all expected them to get a draw 2 or draw 3, I think this is good that they didn't. You're going to be gauging, obviously, which is nice. And it does, I mean, it does flow itself. So, like, at the end of the day, it's just a free gauge 2. You can just drop once per turn. And I'm glad it doesn't have counter as well. I think this is fair. Now onto the double rares. Oh, it's triple rare, what the fuck? Okay, I don't think it's need to be triple rare. There's definitely not good enough for triple rare, but yeah. Demon Dragon's going to be an expensive boy. 3 triple rares, a secret pack. Okay. After this battle, where this card attacks, if there's GBs on your field, you can send it to drop zone to board a dragon trap from your hand at full cost, and when it sounds like card effect, you gain 2 life. You can gain a shit ton of life in Karga. When it enters the field, okay, so this is your searcher for Centaur Garga. And when it sounds by card effect, you can pop a card in your opponent's field. So obviously, I mean, you can search for Garga, that's good. Fifth Omni, so like size 2 or above monster with Fifth Omni is named in your drop zone, you can send it to the field to drop. If you do, call that card by paying the call cost and deal 1 damage to yourself. And that card is treated size 0 into the field. Fifth Omni is definitely slept on. I think this support is going to make them, I don't think tier 1 necessarily, but definitely tier 2, like back up to like a very solid rogue pick as well. If they can, I don't know if they can beat the meta stuff, but if they can, this Fifth Omni could be a very solid pick. Let's who the fuck is testing against Fifth Omni, right? Gary, come on, broken card, don't want to go over this. We went over this, just a cute version of Oberon, very good. I've been over this too, it's very good. Just check top 5, added a Dragon Order Legendary, good card. This is really good during attack phase, but I feel like there's an argument to use Wise Move as well, provided you have the other copy in hand, obviously. So, you know. This is your item searcher / salvager. New size 0, when it enters the field, you can discard a card, add a Belial, or a Demon Dragon item, so this is really nice to have. It's not once per turn call either, so you can just, if you get 2 of these, you can just filter. So yep, 4 of instantly. And when your original size 3 Demon Dragon leaves the field, you can send this card to drop zone to remember the field. Again, very good card as well. Yeah, this is amazing. This is also amazing. I mean, the fact that you can just do, okay, reduce 9. Everything gets reduced by 9. So now you're not really worried about anything. Not that you really necessarily were to begin with, because, like, your biggest worry before really was just, like, 10 damage impact. But now, like, yeah, I mean, we have impact. Sorry, you have impact, so your biggest worry was just not being able to defend. I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously, good card. Like, and the fact that you have the option to filter as well. And it's also not once per turn. That too. So you can, yeah. Purchase that card, this card's the only one they got, and it's pretty shit. This card's okay. Fifth Omni card, deal damage yourself, draw 1, and then gain 5, or 1 card in your field, destroy, deal damage to your opponent. I think this card's really nice. It's literally just a free proc on all your Fifth Omni effects. We're going over this. I think this hero card's okay. I don't think it's gonna, I mean, I don't think heroes. It's alright. At the start of the attack phase, the dragon on the field during its turn, it gets crit +1 double attack, and when this card attacks, if there are 2 or more dragon monsters in the field, the knockout can engage with 1. So it's some nice filter. At the end of the turn, when this card is started from your hand, if there's a legendary on the field, you may add this boy back. And if you do so, gauge can gain 1 life. This card's actually not too bad. It's always giving you discard fodder, which is quite nice. If there are 2 more different dragon on your field, stand a dragon on the field. During the turn, next time, which helps you use by 0. So this is really nice. Outing, so now you can out 6 damage impact, and you can out 10 damage impact, which is really important. So this is actually very nice for them to get. Hero Sport, this card's pretty nice. Sloth, so this is another size, becomes a 0, and you can pay 1 gauge to stand a Demon Dragon in the field. So this is actually, again, quite good, very playable, I think. Will it be run? Maybe at 1 or 2. I don't think it's going to be run at many. I still feel like I'd rather have double of the triple there, because I can just rest 2 things, nullify abilities and stuff, which is really good. This size 0 is kind of crazy. All Demon Dragon field cannot be rested, they mostly cannot be nullified, and when it's the field, add a size 3 Demon Dragon from drops into hand. It's really good. Outing resting is something I don't think they should have had, to be honest. I'm kind of annoyed they did get it. But, on the bright side, literally everything they have can be popped and bounced besides their boss monster, so it's okay. And counteract. Okay, this is their Degain. There's a reprint of Chaotic Pain. Pretty sure this is a reprint. Pay 1 life, mill 3, gauge 3. Will this be run? I really hope you don't have to, but maybe. Diabolus Grave, 1 gauge, salvage 2 Demon Dragon, monster or items from drop to hand. This is okay. Will it be run? Potentially. It's good. It's a good card. I think it probably will be run at least 1 or 2 of. Diabolus Compassion, 1 gauge, if your life is 1, you have to pay the cast cost, which is 2 live. Wait, what? Okay, sorry, not sure how that works. Maybe you don't pay both, or do you not pay... Okay, I don't think there's... Okay, I think this is just a mistake. I don't see that pay 1 gauge. Okay, so ignore the pay 1 gauge. I think it's just 2 life, and then if your life is 1, you don't have to pay that at all. And then you can counter call Demon Dragons from drop zone. If your life is 6 or less, they get +10/+10. This is a really solid card. Chaos Albion reprint is actually a good reprint. I think it was kind of needed. Honor to the Sword, Indestructible Blades. So this is Marble Dragon support. Basically Purgatory Knight support. You can pop Purgatory Knight to gain 2 burn 2. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's alright. Decent defensive card for G boost. Garbage. Item Searcher. It's a free Item Searcher, to be fair. This card's really nice. Really nice card. 1 gauge. It's the Astro Dragon thing. I forgot the name. Choose one of 2. Pop size 2 below, or pop this fellow item. I don't think this will be run. Obviously, amazing card because you rest all cards in Prince Field if you turn 1 hero and drop. So, like swords or heroes. Select 1 of the Dragon monster, you may pay 1 gauge and rest this card. If you do during the turn, the next time the card is destroyed and remains on the field, this card sucks, to be honest. Counteract select Demon Dragon in the field, may discard this card from hand. Give that +5k, and if you're 6 or it gets power plus. That is 100,000. That is 100,000. Okay, so you'll hit over everything with this card, so obviously sideboard card here at least. So this is a... Yeah, you definitely won't need to on Chaotic Pain. This is a gauge 4 if your life is 6 or less, which it probably will be. Counter destroy cast destroy 1 Demon Dragon field, pay 2 gauge. Counter... Okay, this is the card that's like fucking crazy. So counter speed, either board wipe or your opponent drops up to 3 gauge. Fucking hell. So if you go first, your opponent just cannot do anything because they charge and draw, and you just drop this, and they lose all their gauge, and they actually, like, the best they can afford to do, the best they can hope to do, is counter cast some sort of spell that costs gauge that is available to use a counter speed. But, like, what even is there? So, yeah, unless their deck has, like, a ton of gauge gain that is free, or they can just get started without gauge, yeah, this card is fucking crazy. I think it'll be at least a 3 of. 4 of them might get cloggy, but it's just so good. And it's not once per turn. Oh, and also if your life is 1, it's free. So once your life is 1, you just go no gauge, no gauge, no gauge, no gauge. This is like one of the biggest reasons they're going to be just meta as fuck. And they got a Cycling Null, which is decent. This card's good. When Demon Dragon monster enters your field, you may gauge 2 once per turn, so that's really solid. Lots of gauge gain. When your life becomes 0, you may put it into the drop zone to basically save yourself, potentially. You can only set 1, but, you know, I mean, the fact you can potentially save yourself ain't bad. And then we got a reprint of Death Sacrifice. Mech card, reprint. We went over this. This card is really good, actually, because it's 1 card. So now you can, against Astros, you can go, okay, now you have no item, and that can fuck them a bit. Against all the Gargars, as much soul as they get, you can just go no. Against like big wall decks, if they don't get out, they're out. Like against like Dragon Set, for example, you can just drop this if they don't have their soul out immediately. Like, yeah, really solid card basically, because you can be used on everything. So it's, yeah, really good. Card sucks. I don't like this card. I think it sucks. This card's fucking incredible. I don't think this will be run. This is really good. Your crit cannot be reduced. And when a size 1 or below legendary dragon field attacks, destroy 1 card in your Prince field, and if you destroy a deal 1 damage to opponent. So potentially you can be popping burning 2 every attack with the trial deck card. This is very decent. You won't always be getting the burn, unfortunately, but the out crit reduce is nice to have. Another Demon Dragon. 1 gauge top deck soul. If you have 6 life or less, it's like 0. When it attacks a monster in your opponent's field, destroy the selected card, and if your life is 6 or less, remove all soul of that card and destroy it instead. Potentially sideboard material. It's tenuous. This card's obviously amazing. Deal less death drive. You only cast a card during attacking your opponent's turn if you have Demon Dragon in the field. Null the attack if you have 6 or less life. Gauge 2 and discard 2 of your opponent's gauge. Again, more just fucking your opponent on their turn with gauge. The deck just looks disgusting. Like, this is what punks wish it could be in terms of gauge control. It's fucking crazy. Death of Stray Reaper's really nice. And obviously this card's amazing. So, that is the set list. As I hope you can all see, Demon Dragon looks fucking vile. Just so good. I don't know how they're not going to be the best deck, to be honest. This level of gauge control is unprecedented. I don't know how they're going to balance the game around it, because decks just need gauge to get started. Obviously, once the deck gets going, they can, to an extent, be alright if they're constantly losing gauge. But, like, DDs are just fucked, actually, because you might think, okay, well, I can out it with D Zenith, but in response to your Be Lost, if you don't have at least 5 gauge when you declare Be Lost, your opponent, like, let's say you have 4 gauge, you declare Be Lost, and your Demon Dragon opponent just goes, okay, response, reveal, I drop 3 of your gauge, you have Belosted, you can't pay the cost, Belost is once per game, so immediately you can't loss roll for the rest of the game, so you just gotta pack it up, right? That's fucking crazy. So Demon Dragon's basically just invalidated DDs completely out of the format. Incredible. So if any of you, yeah, I mean, again, need to test it. Maybe it's not going to be that degenerate. Maybe there are things you can do, but I think it's unlikely that DDs are going to be able to do anything to Demon Dragons. Now, hopefully there'll be decks that completely check Demon Dragons entirely, so DDs are viable in the format. I'd like a nice little rock, paper, scissors kind of thing. We'll see if that happens. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.